We've got several presentations tonight, and this is a topic that everybody is interested in. A lot of people have some involvement in the subject matter, particularly on the school side, but not everybody has the same information base. So the purpose of tonight is to give everybody a baseline information about demographic trends, both on the county side and on the school side. And we will hear from several county and school staff who will make presentations tonight, and then we'll have a discussion within the study group. Just to remind everybody, the reason we're spending this kind of time and attention on demographics, besides the obvious reason of we're a changing population and we need to understand it and cope well with it, is we are specifically charged as a committee with examining and reconciling existing demographic and economic forecasts and reporting on demographic and economic forecasts when we prepare our two reports, one of which is due in September and the second of which is due in December. Key questions relating to the demographic topic for tonight that are posed specifically in the charge: what are our facility needs for schools, fire stations, recreation and transportation vehicle and other storage? And in the context of changing demographics and economics, what opportunities and challenges are there in our aging, affordable, and workforce multifamily housing stock? The first question, to talk about future facility needs, you really have to understand what the population trends are. Whether it's elderly population, school-age population, whatever it is, those trends and future projections translate into facility needs countywide in one fashion or another. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, and in a subcommittee that's been appointed that Ginger Brown will be chairing, that'll begin to work on the details to answer those several questions out of our charge. I think many of you already know this, but for those who don't, project website, which we try to keep up with all of the documents as they are presented, so that would be a place to look at any given time to see all of the documents that have been part of the process. You can email us at that address, and the staff asks that you check your spam filter to make sure that emails coming from them actually get through to you. The Wi-Fi password for the APS buildings is knowledge. Do we know what it is for this building? Ah, okay. Connect to the Arlington wireless system if you're taking notes on an iPad or in some other fashion using a wireless device. Just a quick summary of what the overall plan is, and I won't guarantee to you that we're going to follow this slavishly, but this is the intention. We're in March, where we're talking about demographics. In April, we're going to talk more about demographics, bring in a third-party validator to look at how we compile our demographics, county and schools, and give us some opinion on it and review of it. And we're going to start the discussion of the follow-up on the revenue and finance questions that we took up in February. April, we'll start looking at facilities, existing facilities, and the land inventory to begin the process of talking about siting criteria for public facilities and the process of beginning to think through projecting future needs. And you can see how we have scheduled out. Again, I won't guarantee that we'll stick to that, but it certainly gives us a general mapping out of what the schedule is going to be going forward. Several people have said to me, why are we sitting through all of these meetings? We'd really like to be talking about stuff. And I understand that, particularly in the study group. I think that there are lots of people who've had some involvement with some piece of this, but the information base is not even. And so the purpose of these early meetings is to give everybody a common set of basic information. And obviously there'll be questions that'll get posed requiring us to get into a little more depth, but this will give everybody a set of basic information. Last month about county finances and revenues and the tax base. This month about population trends and demographics. The idea is to achieve, as that says, information equity. Then the study group's job is to pull out from that themes, and the charge uses the word challenges. What are the challenges that the county and the schools face in looking far ahead, and some ideas of how those challenges might be approached. The resident forum is a kind of unique feature of this. The last count that I heard, and it may have been updated, the resident forum had about 150 members, and the resident forum's job is two-part. One, participate in the meetings, as we did last time, where we broke up into tables of a half a dozen or 8 people, and the resident forum members participated fully in the discussion. But just as importantly, resident forum members are charged with taking information about what it is that we're doing and taking it back to the organization that they represent. The civic association, the PTA, the nonprofit, the whatever it happens to be. So it needs to be a two-way information flow from the resident forum. We've appointed 4 subcommittees to look at differing aspects of our charge. The Economic Sustainability Subcommittee, the Economic Subcommittee, will meet for the first time on the 16th, and it will look at both the information that we got in the meetings in February, but then importantly, the results of the discussions that took place in the table groupings in the last meeting in February, and begin to ask the question of, okay, what are the challenges in the economic arena that we need to begin to address? Their work product will be brought back to the full group for further discussion, and that'll be an iterative process for a while until we get to a product that we're all comfortable with. The plan for tonight, 2 parts, several speakers, lots of information, and I ask your patience as we're working our way through that. And then some discussion, which Ginger Brown's going to lead in the discussion in the study group about what we've heard and the related questions. One final thing before we start the actual program, just to remind everybody, and I'm going to ask the staff members to stand up as I introduce them. We're ably helped by several staff members, schools and county. Lisa Stengel from the school system, and Jennifer Smith from the county, and the staff effort is led by Susan Bell. Lots of other staff obviously helping on this, and you'll hear from some of them tonight, but these are the key people to whom your questions go, and who will be working directly with us as we work our way through the process. I think I've covered most of that, why we're looking at this information. The idea is to try to get some fix on county population growth and school population growth, to evaluate ultimately the need for additional facilities. And this baseline information goes into a demographics report that we will present as a part of our interim and final reports to the county board and school board. Several people have asked me, are we looking at the land use plan? The answer is no. It's not part of our charge. Obviously, it has an impact on what the population trends are, but we're not being asked to and not getting into should we make changes in the land use plan. There are other study groups that are looking at that. It's like, similarly, the issue of affordable housing. This is not an affordable housing study. There is an affordable housing study going on. It's going to present its findings in the ordinary course. We touch on the issue because it's a part of what's going on in the county, but it's not a topic that we will be digging into in and of itself. Future meetings. The end of this month at Wakefield, we'll be continuing our discussion of this topic and beginning to talk about, again, the revenue issues that we addressed in February. And then the April meetings, both at Wakefield, all three of those meetings at Wakefield. All of this information is, of course, on the website.